Hey everybody, today I'm going to review a new Marvel superhero movie, Captain Marvel. Now even though I am a huge fan of Marvel, I will definitely admit that when I was a kid, I never heard of Captain Marvel until they decided to make a movie of her. So when I actually saw the trailers of this film, I became very interested and excited to see that film. Thanks to the success of the Wonder Woman movie back in 2017, the female superhero films are now starting to get appreciated by both the critics and the audiences alike. I saw it in 3D and I think this superhero movie is great! The most exciting and solid Marvel film I had ever seen, and I'm going to tell you why I enjoyed this movie without any spoilers. The story of this film took place in 1995. This film served as a prequel to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Long before Captain Marvel decided to join the Avengers, it starts off where Captain Marvel was being trained by her mentor, Young-Rog, how to fight in combat. Captain Marvel then joins Young-Rog and his Star Force on a rescuing mission. However, during the mission, Captain Marvel was captured by Skrulls, but later escaped and landed on Earth. On Earth, Captain Marvel has later teamed up with Nick Fury to save the world to fight her enemies, while at the same time Captain Marvel is haunted by her nightmares, which is actually her past, that she decided to remember and investigate. The story of this film is nothing really that special, but I do, however, like the 90s reference, because after all, I was one of those kids who was born and lived in the 90s. I also noticed a few references from Pulp Fiction. The special effects in this film I think are pretty good. I can tell that some of the environments on Earth and other planets, the weapons, the spaceships, Captain Marvel's powers, Skrulls shape-shifting, some airplanes, and the explosion are all used in CGI. It's very interesting to see Nick Fury and Agent Coulson are digitally de-aging as young men in this film since it took place in the 90s, similar to how Marvel did with Michael Douglas in Ant-Man, Robert Downey Jr. in Captain America Civil War, and Kurt Russell in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. The action scenes in this film are so action-packed to watch. I really do enjoy seeing the fight scenes, the gun shooting scenes, flying spaceships in both the sky and outer space, and the chase scenes. Now for the acting, directing, and music. Let's start with Captain Marvel, played by Brie Larson. I think she did a splendid job playing that female superhero that is good at fighting, shooting, and drives both a plane and a spaceship. I felt that she is one of the best female superhero characters I had ever seen on a live-action film. Returning from the previous Marvel films and TV shows in this cinematic universe are Nick Fury, played by Samuel Jackson, and Phil Coulson, played by Clark Gregg. Nick Fury in this film is the future director of S.H.I.E.L.D. that decided to team up with Captain Marvel to save the world. I really like the friendship between Captain Marvel and Nick Fury, which I usually see in buddy cop movies and TV shows. I find it interesting that Brie Larson and Samuel Jackson has worked together in Kong Skull Island. This is the second time they did a movie together. Phil Coulson I felt did not have much screen time in this film, even though he did do some cool things, but not as much as he did in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Also appearing in this film are Talos, played by Ben Mendelsohn, Young-Rog, played by Jude Law, Dr. Wendy Lawson, played by Annie Bening, Min Evra, played by Gemma Chan, who was from Crazy Rich Asians, and Maria, played by Lashana Lance. Talos is the shape-shifting leader of the Skrulls, who has come to Earth to work undercover within S.H.I.E.L.D. to find Captain Marvel. Young-Rog is Captain Marvel's mentor and the commander of Star Force, who trains Captain Marvel to use her new power and commands his team to do what they have to do. I will not give anything away, but there is kind of a surprising twist with Young-Rog. Dr. Wendy Lawson is a scientist who only appears in Captain Marvel's memories. Min Evra is one of the members of Star Force, who is a Kree sniper. Maria is one of Captain Marvel's closest friends and fellow Air Force pilot who is a single mother and also wanted to help Captain Marvel and Nick Fury to save the world. Coming back from Guardians of the Galaxies is Korath, played by Djimon Hounsou, and Ronan, played by Lee Pace. Long before Ronan and Korath fights the Guardians of the Galaxies, Korath in this film is a Kree mercenary and second in command of Star Force. Ronan is only in this film for a short time. But the one I think definitely steals the show is Goose the Cat. Goose the Cat is a very cute and adorable cat that became close allies with Captain Marvel and Nick Fury. Anna Bolden and Ryan Flick I think both did a very nice job directing this film, especially they made it feel like I was a kid again. The music composed by this Turkish-American composer sounds very super and intense. It's very cool to hear some rock music and pop music from the 90s in this superhero movie. Overall, this is a great solid Marvel superhero film I had ever seen. While it's not perfect, at least this film had wonderful action scenes, nice looking special effects, good performances of most of the cast, and had that good old 90s feel to it. It may not be as fantastic as Wonder Woman, but it is way better than all those terrible and forgettable female superhero films that failed really badly. We will see Captain Marvel again in Avengers 4 Endgame. Anyway, if you're a fan of Marvel, definitely go see it. Oh, and be sure to stay both the mid and after credit scenes. I will not tell you what happened, but it is setting up for the next Marvel movie. Also, do yourself a favor and don't listen to those backlash this film's been getting. Just enjoy the film from what it is. So I give this movie 4 out of 5 nuclear bombs.